Okay, guys, so welcome to the second part of our session this evening. This is the Leadership and Ethic class, Friday night, CRN 23162. Um, so at this point, I want us to pay attention to, are you seeing my shared screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah? Okay, good. So the first thing we want to do is we want to look at the e-classroom so that we can pay attention to make it a little bigger. Is that large enough for you guys? Can see things? All right, so at the very top, there are some resources here. You need to download these two textbooks and the course outline. The course concept map is something you can have a look at. It's supposed to just visualize what the course looks like. The learning style inventory, the personality test, and the questionnaire, these are things that are going to be utilized for your self-analysis. You should have downloaded the course schedule. Um, we'll be working on that this evening. This here is the link to join the class. So if for some reason you don't get into the you don't have the link from a previous time, you can always come back to the class and get it. And I tend to post the meeting session links into the WhatsApp chat every time just before we start classes so that people can have a new link to join from, or a new copy of the link to join from. And that's what's below here. This is the WhatsApp chat group link. So I'm hoping everybody has joined the class by now, for those of you who may have joined late or had problems coming on. And you should all be enrolled in the class. All right, so this second session block here has the first chapter, the second chapter, and the third chapter, two in PowerPoints, one in a PowerPoint plus presentation for you to go through, and we'll look at the schedule when it comes to that. This title here, or this label here, is going to be where we're going to put the recording from today. Will come here for anybody who missed the session, or wanted to review something in the session that they wanted to look for. The next block has to do with assignment submissions. So you'd see group presentation, mid-semester, self-analysis, reflection and analysis, reflection and leadership plan. This is where you'll be submitting your final drafts of documents for these assignments. Then we have a debate activity, and you see a date attached to it already. So this is the date in which the debate itself will take part, and there are some documents that go with this, and further instructions will be given during the semester in relation to this as we draw closer to April. Um, Debate recordings can come up here. That's when we finish the debates, and student chapter presentations will be posted here. So you notice there's nothing in this section here just yet, and that's because as we move through the course, you guys would be developing part of this class. So we will start to populate more and more in this class as the class proceeds, based upon the work that you guys do with the class. All right. So in terms of the textbooks, these are the textbooks we're going to be required to utilize. Do I have them up? No, I don't. Let me just get them. Had them all prepped, and then electricity left, and I had to kind of restart everything. So these are the two textbooks that you're going to be utilizing for this course. Um, you're going to be using the Leadership Experience, fourth edition. That's this book here. We're going to be using some chapters from there, and the vast majority of chapters are going to come from this textbook, The Exploring Leadership by Kumiles, Lucas, and McHon. Um, and we will start to see, when we get into the contents area, the various parts of the chapters that you're going to be dealing with. So that then brings us to our course schedule, which some of you may have downloaded, but we're going to finalize today. Let me make this bigger so that people can see it. All right, so as we can see, today is the 2nd of February So we have our first session here, identified, getting acquainted, and planning, and that's what we're going to be engaging in next. Now, in order for us to understand why there's some planning required, let's go straight down to the assignments, and we'll start to come back to the dates and whatnot. So we'll start to see what's going on. So the first thing that I want you to pay attention to here is the assignment number one is group chapter presentations. So each well, the class is going to be broken up into groups of three. There are 30 students in the class. So an even breakdown because there are 10 chapters to present. Um, so each group will contain three individuals from the class who will get together and review the chapter that they've been assigned with the mind to teach the chapter to the class. All right, so the requirement is not just a presentation, but a teaching exercise. So you're going to be taking the content from the chapter and pulling it together in a way in which you believe will best explain the main the, the content from that particular chapter to the class and bring it across in a way in which it leads to a higher level of understanding. So in assessing that, I will be marking those presentations. I'll be looking at your coverage. The I don't want you leaving anything out. I'll be looking at the nature and types of examples that you're looking at, the clarity of those examples and its appropriateness, um, making appropriate recommendations as you get to the close of your presentation, and using conclusions in your presentation. Now, we have to remember that we are teaching a subject, so it's a lot different to just presenting a topic. So I would expect that I should see some sort of activities in it that will help to engender some form of inclusion and discussion with the class. So those are some of the things I'm looking for. But more importantly, you don't want to miss any content out. You don't want to leave anything critically out of the chapter. So part of your mark is also going to be for your style of delivery, the quality and degree of class interaction, which kind of relates to the activities you get up to, how well you've used and designed your presentation aid, which is primarily going to be some form of a PowerPoint presentation, and how well you've used the time or managed your time for that presentation. Now, as with most presentations, there's also going to be the need for citation because you may or may not be utilizing the text itself. Well, you will be using the text, but you may or may not be utilizing supplementary information or supplementary items to help build your presentation. So those things need to be cited when you're utilizing it. As I said before, this counts for 30% of your final grade. When you finish your presentations, on the very night that you do your presentations, you will be given feedback by me in terms of what you've done, how you've done, and what score you've been able to generate, so that you'll know exactly where you sit right after you finish your presentations. Any questions on that? Everybody's kind of clear on this area, on this assignment?
Yes, sir.
Good. All right. So assessment two has to do with the debates. As I said, I'll provide better, more detailed instructions, but in essence, what's going to happen here is that the debates will take place at the end of the semester because we have to kind of go through the material so that you can utilize it in the application of your arguments that you're going to put to this. Now, a debate, of course, is going to be a parliamentary style debate where we're going to have a team representing the government and a team representing the opposition. The team for the government will argue for the statement, the team for the opposition will argue against the statement. There will be a third team of mediators who will conduct the exercise of the debate, and they will also evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of the various presentations or arguments put forward by the two teams. Now, we are going to be doing two topics, so it's going to work like this. Out of the three, we choose two, and the teams of 10 will subdivide into subgroups of 5 apiece who will argue for each one of the sets well, each of the two topics. So we'll have, in essence, 4 teams on the in terms of the government and the opposition, who will be treating with two of the topics here. The mediators can also subdivide into two teams to handle each debate separately, or they can choose to stay as one unified team of 10 and kind of work in tandem with each other to get the exercise done. At the end of the debate, the mediators will mark the debaters, and the debaters will in turn, utilizing a form of a rubric that's available on the e-classroom, will utilize a rubric to mark the performance of the mediators, and that will be a 15%. But again, we'll have a lot more details that will come up as we get closer to that event. So far, so good. Everybody follows that assignment or that assessment.
Yes, sir. Clear.
Yeah, so far. All right, assessment 3. This is a midterm, it says assessment, but it's really a midterm reflection where it'll take the form of 3 short response questions where you are going to be looking at specific content coming out of some of the chapters. In particular, it'll be chapter 6 and 7 out of the main text. That's the leadership experience text. Where you will be looking at reflecting on the content in relation to your own personal experiences with it. And that's going to be something that you will have to do and submit within a time frame that's identified in the schedule above. We'll get to that in a little bit. All right. Again, it's not an exam because it takes about I'm giving you about a week to 2 weeks to go through the exercise and do this. We'll have to do this while other presentations are going on. So that's why I want to give time to people who might feel as if, I can't focus on the, the presentation and on this exercise at the same time. So the assignment is kind of spread over a week to 2 weeks to get it sorted out. All right. Any questions on that? The instrument for that is not yet available, but it's in the e-classroom as well. I think it might be. Let me see. If I click on the, let me see. All right, no, it's not available yet. So I'll upload the document for this assignment in a bit, later on in the semester. Um, Back to the schedule. Right. Okay. Any questions on this so far? That's a 20% assessment. Nope. Okay. This is assessment 4. This is another 20% assessment of self-analysis. So here, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be developing an autobiography of yourself, specifically designed for you to be able to analyze how you've become the person you are today. Specifically, it's going to look at your general development as well as your leadership potential or leadership experiences as you move through. Now, to be able to do um, the to do this assessment, it's we have these 6 questions that, in answering them fully, it should guide your self-analysis, your autobiography, to allow you for that type of self-analysis so that you can make the link between um, the types of influences that people in your family have had as opposed to in your life where other aspects or other things have come into play in terms of key people in your life that or events, people or events that have influenced how you perceive things around you and generally help develop you as the person that you are today. All right. Now, this is a very private document. It is not something that I will be sharing with anybody because, out of necessity, I expect that people will be reflecting in a serious manner. And I'd want you to take this exercise to heart because it's the only way for this assessment to have the impact that it's designed to have is that you take it seriously and you pay attention to what you do. There are no word limits to this because for some people who have probably been around longer or have had richer life experiences, they may find themselves writing a lot in it. Whereas other people who may be a little, junior in their lives, they may not have as much to say, but there should be some degree of completeness to your analysis of yourself. Now, it's a difficult assignment to mark because, I mean, there should really be no citation with this because you're not borrowing from other people to write about your own life, right? Although, if you've ever done an assignment like this before, you can actually, plagiarize yourself, but we'll get beyond that in a little bit. Now, to mark that, therefore, I've assigned questions, the introduction and a conclusion. As with any paper that you write, you should have an introduction and conclusion. And each question carries a score. So the total, all the questions carry some weighting of scores, and based upon the total, the completeness of your analysis for a total of 40 marks. And the mechanics of your paper, for instance, your language usage, going to be evaluating that. And I'm also going to be evaluating the way in which you prepare your document, which is how you organize your document. Do you have a title page? Do you have a contents page? Do you have page numbers? Are you using a clear, easily readable font? Have you used double line spacing, which is something that is required for all academic papers? So those are the mechanics elements for a total of 60 marks altogether, but it's of course expressed as um, a percentage out of 100. Again, I can't emphasize enough that the only way this assignment makes sense would be if you really put some effort into it, and be honest with yourself as you're doing these things, because um, I I don't know how many of you all have ever done self reflection and self analysis before, but for some, if this is the first time, it can be challenging. If you're accustomed to doing this type of activity in terms of doing self reflection, then it's not going to be as tricky. Um, but we're looking for something that's rather well developed, um, so that you can, you know, get to understand who you are and why you are the way you behave, that type of thing. Why you're the person that you are. So it's always a interesting thing to see people's write-ups in this area because it tells a lot about them. All right. Any questions on this? In fact, you can start some of these. You can start this self-analysis now. You don't have to do it in one sitting. You can sit and work on bits and pieces as you start to develop the analysis. It's not expected that you should um, sit in a one and done, because then you're likely to just rush through it and then not have the type of reflective or reflection type of impact that it's designed to have. So again, this is one that you can start from today if you so desire and work it through. That brings us to the last assessment, which is assessment 5 for 15 marks, reflections on leadership plans. So here we're asking you to reflect on the course after it's finished. So this one, you're going to be expected to really work on this after the course is finished. However, there is a one question here that is part of something that I asked you in the introduction that we were doing today. So as you commence, or as we start this class, what are your personal expectations for the course, for me as the lecturer, and for yourself? So now, what I would advise you to do is sometime before the next class that we have, um, sit down and write down and try and put into words what you spoke about when I asked the question, what do you think this course is going to do for you? It's a precursor to this entire question here about your expectations for the course, your expectations for me as your lecturer, and the expectations of yourself as a student participating in the exercise. So those are the things that if you sit that down and you create a little file and start that, you could get that out of the way, put it there, leave it alone, save it and leave it, and that way, when the course is at its completion, you could start looking at the end of the course, how have these expectations been met above or not been met? Describe what you've learned about yourself during the semester. So this last one is a reflection on yourself and your journey through this course after the fact. So this assignment really is required to be done after we completed the activities. Some of the stuff you could probably try to answer along the way, but generally it's best when you're looking at yourself in hindsight over a period of time to see what's going on. Similar marking structure with an introduction, conclusion, and so on. Same mechanics of for 20 marks, same 40 marks across the board. Again, to truly get the best out of this exercise, what you want to do is to really pay attention and give it some time to do some meaningful reflections and therefore write up the thing based upon some true analysis. The only way this is going to work for you in terms of the intention of this course is if you take it seriously and you spend some time doing it. So you'd notice that that's the end, that's the last assessment. You'd notice that there are no exams, there are no tests that you're going to be facing. Everything in this course, besides the debate and the presentation, is about you sitting down, looking at either specific material or general material and reflecting on it and seeing, trying to work out who am I? So this is a course that is not traditional in its approach, not traditional in its mannerisms. Because not only are we going to examine the the theory and practice of leadership, and in this particular case, we're going to be looking at a very specific model called the relational leadership model, and we're going to be looking at its application and how you can utilize it to help develop your own personal leadership styles and skills. So the only way that works is by providing opportunities for you to put into practice some of the things that we're talking about. All right, so I've said a lot, so let's hear some people's responses to them. Now, let's look at the deadlines before we start to look at that. First thing we want to pay attention to is that the last teaching day of teaching is the 20th of April, so we have some limitations there. The midterm exercise, I said we will have to do it during some of the presentations. And so I'm looking at the period between the 22nd of March to the 12th of April that the midterm exercise should be done and uploaded to the class. The debate exercise is a one and done, but there's a requirement of prep to get ready for it, because putting the teams together, getting people to work together to pull their arguments and prepare themselves for a debating exercise is requires some team effort and some working together to get it sorted out. That's for the 26th, but the last presentation is going to be on the 5th of April. So there's a little gap there between the two time frames to give us like a week or two to be able to prepare. The self-analysis, the leadership action plan, they are both due on the 18th of May. So I'm giving you some additional time after the end of April where classes end, but before I have the deadline to put grades into, to sit and really finalize those documents that you're going to submit as part of your analysis. So I'm trying to give you a little more time, because technically you should be submitting everything by April, the end of April, but I am saying I'm going to give you guys until um, May. So you wouldn't be in classes. You might have had some exams for some other subjects that you have, to give you some clear time to sit down and do that reflections or do these reflections and get it sorted out. Do not procrastinate, guys, because this that 18th will sneak up on you real quick. All right. So I'm hoping that a more relaxed approach to the assignments will provide you with ample opportunity to do some good work. All right. Okay. So now we have the dates, we have the exercises in mind. How people, how are people feeling about these types of assessments?
Feeling
Questions,
good.
queries? Let me hear. I heard somebody say something.
Now just say feeling okay about it, sir.
It looks good. I see a hand up. Theophilus. How many words is
Sir?
that last assignment? Okay, Theophilus
Yes.
was. All right. So again, no word limits, because your reflection might be absolutely different to somebody else's, simply because the the course and its content could influence you or affect you more than somebody else who has less experience, less opportunities to practice leadership. You understand what I mean? So what I'm looking for is for meaningful reflections, and therefore relaxing a word requirement is what I thought would make that better for you. All right, Theophilus, Miss Franklin. Yes, see your hand still up. All right. Anybody else has any questions, concerns that they want to bring up? No? All right. So we want to get into another activity now, which is assigning folks to a chapter. So the chapters that we are looking at are chapter 4 of the main text, Understanding Self, chapter 5, Understanding Others. And you'd notice for every class, there are two presentations. So two chapters are being presented per class. Now, prior to you guys presenting, I will be presenting chapters 1 to 3, which is unit 1 of the first textbook. And I'll be doing that on the 16th, the 23rd of February, and the 1st of March. Why? Because the next scheduled class for us is the 9th, and unfortunately, the college closes on the 9th. You all know that, right?
No, sir.
You didn't
Yes,
know
sir.
that? You
Yes,
didn't know
sir.
that?
Yes, sir,
You,
for carnival.
we right. Generally, not generally, but for a good long while now, we've been shutting down the campus for carnival because honestly, carnival. Think about coming to a class. It's already difficult coming to a class on a Friday night, right? Think about coming to a class on a carnival Friday night when your friends might be saying, "Hey, we are lying to go by. We have this party to go and hit and that kind of stuff." You know, we have to recognize the fact, or we have to stop fooling ourselves into thinking that carnival doesn't affect anybody. It does. Not in the same manner, but also families that don't probably engage in direct carnival activities may in fact engage in more family oriented activities, like going camping and that type of stuff, going on the beach, having a long weekend away to do something. That makes sense. So that I'm sure a lot of you all are participating in activities of that nature, if not directly involved with carnival. So the college has, for the longest while, not been forcing students to come to school because we used to have this nonsense of taking rolls on Ash Wednesday. That's another piece of nonsense that comes up. Um, to see, and what we found out was that financially we were wasting time. It was costing us more to put out to have teachers come out and teach classes on a Wednesday, on Ash Wednesday and Carnival Friday, and the attendance by students was just abysmal. Which meant that we had to apply for makeup classes to make up the time, which was a waste of money. So the college decided, listen, we can't. We have to give credence to the fact that this is a national festival. It's a national celebration. So therefore, we give that vacation time period. So the next class, I won't be seeing you all next week. I'll be seeing you all after Carnival, and the first session will be the 16th. And from there, the 16th, 23rd, and the 1st of March, I'll be treating with your chapters 1 to 3. Okay? That doesn't mean you don't have a chance to go and look at the presentations from before if you want. You can have a look at them because they're online. Right, but right after the first, on the 8th of March, will be the first set of student teaching presentations. Um, we'll have two chapters being presented per um, per session. All right, which means for a 3 hour session, both groups will receive or be allowed to utilize up to an hour and a half of time to present the chapters that they have. Now, some chapters are very dense, and other chapters are not as dense. So the earlier chapters tend to be a little less dense. Some chapters, as we start to get down, as we could see here, integrity and moral purpose, that's an intense chapter. Teams and groups, a long chapter but relatively straightforward. The chapter 6 from the DAFT. Now, when you see this, it means that you're going to the second textbook, the Richard Daft book. You're going into that to look at that chapter. That's called Courage and Moral Leadership is a bit of a repeat from Integrity and Moral Purpose. So you have those two chapters, but we're looking at it from two different aspects. But they kind of reinforce each other. Then we go back to the main text. You'd see we auto sequence. We are going to look at chapter 9, being in communities. Then chapter 8, going backwards, complex organizations. The order is kind of set that way. Then we leave this textbook altogether and go straight into the draft, and we start to look at vision and strategic direction, chapter 13 from the draft, power and influence, chapter 12 from the draft, so again, inverted order. And then the last chapter, well, the last presentation is chapter 15, leading change. All right? Everybody's okay with that? So at this point in time, I want to find out who would be willing to tackle. All right, so I kind of have to do this in a kind of weird way a bit, because I need to see you all as well as kind of make this a bit smaller for me to be able to copy some information down across. All right, so I don't want to put you all into chapters. What I prefer is that you guys select chapters that you would like to work on. We have a maximum, however, of 3 people per chapter. That makes sense? Yes?
Yes, sir.
And once
Makes
I've,
sense.
Yes, sir.
yeah? Because now we do have some people who are absent, and we may have lost some more people. I know Miss Dooku made it back in. If you are, kind of let me know. Ramsey didn't make it back, but I know that some other people were here and then kind of fell off and having internet connectivity. There's somebody called Lila, I think is the name I'm seeing on the system. Lati, not sure who Lati is. Um, who said that they have no thing. Then somebody here, good evening, my apologies for missing part of the class. I was held up at work. Somebody called PH. Our taxi driver, I don't know. All right, wait. Sounds like somebody's trying to get back in class. Miss Smith. All right. Okay. So now that I've babbled on enough, let's hear what people want to do.
Sir, so
Yeah.
I missed out a little bit when you was talking after you came back. So when you say persons will be presenting these chapters, right?
Uh-huh. They'll be teaching the chapters. Let's put it that way.
Okay, you'll be teaching the chapter.
You will be teaching the chapter, not me.
Okay, okay.
That makes sense to you now?
Yes, sir. It's just to
Right?
go into the book, read it, and make your own notes, and then teach the entire chapter.
Wow. Okay, it's not as simple as that. Just letting you know.
Hmm.
It's never as simple as that. Teaching means you need to have something called responsible knowledge, which means you need to know a lot more than the students. All right, so I see 2 hands up, Rashawn and Mr. Batiste. Um, Katai. Wow, okay, hands going up. For what? What do you put your hands up for? You have to
Chapter
talk.
4.
You have to talk to me. So, Rashawn, you want to be chapter 4?
Yes.
Yeah, me too, sir. Chapter 4, sir.
All right, pull up, selector. All right, so chapter 4, first person out here. Me too is Batiste, right?
Yes, sir.
Katai.
Batiste.
All right, okay, so I'm slotting you all in as we speak. Chapter 4.
That's me.
Miss Hunt,
Chapter 7.
Nicole, chapter 7.
Yes, sir. Teams and groups.
Right, yeah, you did talk about that, yes. All right, teams
So I
and
would
groups.
say chapter 4.
Who's I would take Laura. Laura,
Hi, sir.
I'm seeing your
I
hand
will
up.
take chapter 2.
Chapter 2. All right, that's Miss Hunt. Copy
I'm
that.
trying to take down my hand, sorry.
Yeah. Kind of take down your hands when you're finished, Mr. Batiste. Mr. Batiste. All right.
Sorry about that, sir.
Take your
So
time.
I would like chapter 5.
Hold on. Who? All right. Let me put your hand up and then I'll get to you. Okay. So, Miss Gopi, what chapter is that? Miss
Hi,
Gopi,
sir. I would like chapter 5.
chapter 5. Copy. Chapter 5. All right. That's with Miss Hunt. All right.
Yes.
We still have
No, sir,
what?
I'm chapter 2.
Ch- chapter 2. You mean presentation 2?
Yes, I'll take chapter 5. I didn't realize it went, the mic
Yeah,
went
it's
out. Yes,
presentation
chapter
2,
5 is
chapter
fine.
5.
Presentation 2, correct.
Right. Okay. So now you understand. Okay. Presentation 2. So Kaylee has joined you there. Okay. So Aisha Warden.
Hi, sir. I would like chapter 5 as well.
All right. So that closes off presentation 2. All right. Okay. Bachan.
Bachan, sir.
Bachan. Oh, God.
Presentation 5.
Presentation 5. Courage and moral leadership.
Yes, sir.
All right. Hold on. Let me copy your name there. Interesting. All right. Hands down, Miss Maharaj. Well, your hands
So
up again.
chapter 4.
Chapter 4. All right. You want to close that off?
Yeah.
Miss Maharaj. So obviously, as you guys are placing yourselves into group, you need to set up a kind of subgroup meeting so that you'll be able to communicate with each other, right? You can probably do set up little WhatsApp chats for the subgroups there. All right, Miss Garcia.
Chapter 6.
Chapter 6. There are 2 sixes, so I'm thinking it's integrity and moral purpose, presentation 3.
Yes, sir.
All right, good.
Chapter 6.
Who that?
Theophilus Franklin.
Say that again.
Theophilus Franklin.
Franklin. Okay. You kind of jumping the gun there, you know.
So I would like to do chapter 6.
Who's that?
Rana Nicholas.
Nicholas. All right, okay. Now there are 2 chapter 6s. I hope you all remember that. Oh crap! I think I know what's going on there. All right, let me come back on the list. Mahadev, what do you want?
I'll say presentation 6.
Presentation 6, being in communities. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Hercules, Jada.
I'll take presentation 6 as well.
6 as well, Hercules. Copy. All right. RT and Hercules, put your hands down there, please. Archibald, Taran.
So I'll take presentation 8.
Vision and strategic direction. Okay. All right. Somebody's trying to get in. Okay. Whoops. Seeing the hands up. Hold on a second. Okay. All right. Anastasia.
I'll close off presentation 6.
6. Close off. Oh, that. Right. Okay, cool. Anastasia Sahadev. Okay. copy. All right. All right. Set up your subgroupings with these people. All right. Anastasia, put your hand down. Shivanan.
So you can just show me where's the last presentation. So
Last presentation is April the 5th, leading change.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Shivanan. Okay, there we go. Copy. All right. You can't take it by yourself. I just let you know. All right, hands down.
Oh, okay.
Nicholas. Rana, I thought you selected something already. Rana. All right. Alana.
So presentation 7.
7. Okay. Complex organizations. Cool. We still have 9 power and influence as well. Huh? Rana, I see your hand back up. What's the problem? Okay. Let's Figaro. Tamika.
Sir, can I do presentation 6?
Can you? No, presentation 6 is filled already. There are 3 people in it. You want to join? All right, sorry. Which one would you like? There's a couple here that only have 1 or 2 people in it.
Presentation.
Say again.
Presentation.
I'm not hearing the final.
Presentation.
Which presentation?
Presentation 4.
4, right. So wasn't hearing that last syllable. Okay, Shan's coming back in. All right, Tamika, thanks. Ashley, Ramdas.
Presentation 7.
7 with Smith. All right. Okay. Janine.
Presentation 5.
5 with Mr. Ronaldo. Don't mess with that up. All right. Ashley and Jermaine, you all need to put your hands down. Miss Jolene.
So I'd like to do presentation 4.
4. All right, that closes off 4. Great. Okay, so message Jasan and Figaro. Let them know what's going on. Zion. James. Sir.
Presentation 4 is on mine so much.
Presentation 4 is filled.
It's filled, yeah.
Yeah, 5 has room 7, 8, 9, and 10. You have to look at the dates, huh? That's kind of what you have to pay attention to.
I'll take presentation 8.
8. All right. 29th of March. That will be with Archibald. Okay, cool. Shivanan Mahadev. You have not signed yet? No, that's Shivanan Maharaj. Sorry, aren't you assigned already?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I was just seeing that I was by myself in one, so but I see I sit in presentation 2, so.
People still have to assign themselves, so don't worry yourself. You'll have some company. There's 10 presentations, 3 persons a group, so everybody is going to be assigned. All right. Okay. So Zion
The power and influence.
Power and influence still needs people too. So we still have people to assign, so don't panic. Kazim. Zion.
Presentation 10.
Kazim Q10. See, you got company already, Shivan. Kazim, come and meet you. All right. Zion, you still have something you want to say? Shivanan, if not, put your hands down, please. Miss Superville,
So, presentation 9.
presentation 9. All right, power and influence. That's a nice chapter. Other people to join you there. All right, so I have a sneaky suspicion that everybody who's here in class has assigned themselves to a group. I think, for what I'm saying. I still see a hand up. Miss Superville, we didn't get to talk to you at the beginning, did we?
No, you didn't.
Right, and so therefore you need to tell me who you are, what program you're doing, that kind of stuff.
Okay, my name is Shuri Superville.
Right?
Yes,
How's that?
it's spelled.
That's how it's pronounced,
Yeah,
Charisse?
it's Shuri. It's a typo that was done at birth, and I never changed it.
Wow. How was it
Yes,
supposed to be spelled?
it's supposed to be Sherece.
All
I
right,
never
yeah.
did it.
Wow. Who was responsible for that piece of madness?
I have no idea.
All right, okay.
Currently, I am studying my bachelor's in accounting. This is
Uh-huh.
my first year with Prescott.
Okay.
Full time, and I work RBC Finance Department.
Oh, good. And do you see this course being useful for you?
I do leadership one in terms of the way that I want to grow in my career. I've always wanted to do accounts, and that's all I've ever wanted to do.
Uh-huh.
Also, it will come in handy in terms of ethics. Those 10 lines between right and wrong and what could be interpreted as correct or wrong.
Well, we probably have
So
some nice, healthy discussions about that. That'll be good.
yes,
I think that'll be
so
an
I'm
excellent start.
excited about that.
All right. Thank you for sharing. Anything specific about yourself you'd like to share with the class?
For me, I'm very family oriented, and I love to travel.
You love to travel. Where have you traveled in the recent past?
I came from Jamaica a few weeks ago.
You did what from Jamaica?
I went to Jamaica a
Oh,
few weeks ago.
I thought you said you sailed from Jamaica. I was wondering
No, no.
um, if you were into sailing. You know who's. All right, I'll have to assign him afterwards. All right, well, thank you for sharing, Ms. Superville. You can put your hand down now, too. 5, we have um, Bachan and Junes. 6, we have Mahadeo, Hercules, and Sahadeo. Right, 6. Then we have Smith in 7. 7. And Ramdas, 7. And then we have 8. We have Taran and James. 9, we have Superville. And 10, we have Maharaj, Shivanan. 10 and Kasim. Alright, so people who have not yet been assigned. Alright, so let me start to do this. So we have presentation 5 needs somebody. Let me put go from the top down. Let's put Dooku with that group with. Alright, so that's presentation 5. Who else? Christopher seems to have fallen off. So I'll put Christopher with Smith, Ramdas, and um, in complex organizations. All right. What's that? 7. Next person is Ramsey. I'll put Ramsey here. With James. So Ramsey is 8. Roberts. Now Roberts was here, but I think she's having connectivity issues. That's 9. Rogers was Rogers is here. Shaniqua. I'm gonna put you into group 9, okay? Shaniqua. Miss Rogers.
Okay, sir. I wasn't sure what was happening, so I just waited.
We're assigning chapters. People.
Okay, no problem.
Well,
I
now
got
we have.
disconnected.
Yeah, I know, it happened. Erica is back. Suknanan. No. So I'm gonna put Miss Suknanan with Mr. Maraj and Kasim. All right. Okay. All right. So we've assigned everybody to a chapter. So you're going to want to know. Let me save the changes on this. So what I'll do is I'll PDF this document. Now that we have assignments in terms of group assignments, dates and everything is kind of nailed down. All right, good there. Let's save that. Let me also PDF this document. Friday. Right. PDF. Great. Now, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to update the document on the e-classroom so you can pull it down from there. Yes? That makes sense? So, all right, I have to turn this on. That way we could get an updated version and you could delete the other one. And with it being PDF'd, then you can't inadvertently make changes to it, okay? All right, so we're going to go to Friday's class. We want this document. Clap. Upload that. Save and return. Good, so that's updated now. There we go. And I'm going to also put it into the group chat as well, so that you can get it faster, I guess, or it'll be here in the group. All right, so that we can get it, and that way you can, as I said, privately message each other in relation to putting your little groups together, so that you can reach out to each other and start doing your prep work. All right, I see something in the chat there. Not sure what's happening. Okay, well now, now you know. All right, cool. All right. Anybody has any questions they want to ask at this time? We kind of finishing a bit early, but that's okay. I have to make a run down the road to pick up some stuff. So everybody's okay? Any questions, queries, concerns that you might have?
No, sir.
Everything's right now. In the next couple of classes, when we come back from after carnival, those classes will run long, okay? Because the first 3 chapters of the text outlines in a lot of detail um, the it kind of puts the context of the model together. So those classes will necessarily be a bit long. All right. So we'll see how we can get them done. But Guys, enjoy your carnival. Be safe, and I look forward to seeing you all um, on that next class, which is based on our schedule. It's the 16th of February. Is that okay?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
sir.
So I really want to thank you guys for coming to class today. I know I had a bit of a challenge. I almost didn't have class, which would have been the disaster for scheduling. Um, but thank God, I just as I was about to send out an email to tell you all don't bother with class today, the electricity came back. But then it took a little while for the Wi-Fi to reconnect and do all this semi-debate to broadcast. So I want to thank you all for choosing this class, choosing my class, and I hope we have an enjoyable semester together. All right, with that said, good night, everybody. Have a safe time for Carnival, because I want to see all of you all back here. Um, not come Ash Wednesday, but at least the week after. And enjoy your Valentine's days as well, because it's Valentine's on Ash Wednesday, isn't it? Ash Wednesday is Valentine's as well. Yes, I think so.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So enjoy your celebrations, whichever you get up to, whatever you do. Be careful, be safe, and
Sir.
if you can't be safe, be careful, right?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Take care.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Good night, guys.
Night,
Have a good
everyone.
night.
Good night.
And a
Good
good
night,
Get
weekend.
home
everyone.
safely, everybody.
Good
Bye,
night,
good night.
sir.
Good night, sir.
All right.
So you reach home safe too.
Good night, sir.
Yep. I will. I will. Not too much traffic these days.
Watch out for the drunk drivers.
Yes, definitely have to watch out for those guys, regardless. Miss Figaro, you okay?